Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 27th of May. Now, if you're new to my channel, we've been doing a little bit of a vote off in the last sort of week or two, and we've been coming up with some great names to name our new world, because we're not going to go down the road of the new world order that they're trying to push and implement onto us. We've decided to create our own world, and we've come up with some fun names. I think the one that's in the forerunner, like really at the moment, is Terabella, which means beautiful earth. It comes from India, I think, and it's a really pretty name. It's beautiful. And the other one is, of course, Wilson's World is quite popular too, which is where we hide sometimes and protect ourselves and look over the fence. And that's off Tool Time. I think it's Home Improvements was the show, if you want to look it up. So it's pretty much between these two, I think, but I've got the feeling that Terabella's going to win that because I know you guys really love it and you keep commenting and voting on that one. So I'll let you know in the next couple of days what we're going to lock in. And today I'll just get started and we'll see what comes up. Now they're showing me that the dam wall has lifted. So sometimes we think of these sort of spillways and causeways and different things as ways of just releasing small amounts of water because it takes the pressure off the dams and things like this. But now they're saying that that dam wall has actually been lifted right up and it's coming out like a great big flood. And this is around information. Information, sorry, is flooding out. And it's going to cause a disaster. So it's like, you could say and relate it to like a tsunami. It's like when that much water comes at you, it is like a tsunami. And this is for the people waking up. I always talk about they're in this process of waking up. Now, again, when there's a tsunami coming at you, great idea to just pop behind the fence and stay out of the way because we have that foresight and we know it's coming. So the best idea is to probably shut the gate behind you. Not literally, this is just, for your own protection. Go and shut that gate would be a good thing because this information is really starting to come out now and people are seeing it. They really are seeing it. That, I talked yesterday about people who are really into the jab and they're posting things and making jokes and finding this all is a bit strange. And people are really honestly not taking the monkeypox seriously. I think if you talk to most people, they're taking the mickey out of that. Gosh, I was near some old blokes at the, I think I was getting a coffee yesterday, for example, and these old guys who normally get their jabs, I know them really well, and they normally get their jabs and, they keep right up to date. They were even making a joke of the monkeypox, and they were saying that the pumpkin they grew had spots just like monkeypox. They could call it the monkeypox pumpkin. Now, they're older people that are making a joke of this now. So you have to know that this is starting to spill out. People are starting to see that this is getting more and more ridiculous, and it's not making any sense. So I'm definitely getting that there's this tsunami of information that's just flooding out to people now. And like I always say, it can't be stopped. How do you stop that much information getting out? Yep, you can fact check, you can do all the things that you got to do on all your social media and control the media because you own it. But eventually, people still talk. I talked the other day about the zipped up mouse. Well, maybe they're getting the scissors and cutting that that cotton or that thread that had their mouse tied up, and they're starting to spread, information as well. Because we've got to remember too, and that's what people forget, and the guides are saying that, is a lot of people have had adverse side effects to these vaccines, and they're hesitant about getting any more boosters. A lot of people have had seizures, they've had heart problems, blood clots are coming out. Gosh, now here in Australia on the radio yesterday, oh no, they were saying that COVID-19, the V, can cause blood clots. I know how you guys would feel about that. If you heard it, I was like, no way. I was saying to my daughter, I can't believe they're still lying. They just come out with these lies and they just cover it up and blame, if you've had the virus, then you could get blood clots. Like now they're blaming that. But we all know it's the jab. Oh, it's straight out lies. But this is where people are now starting to get all confused because it's all coming at them like that big tsunami now. All the truths, the information, it's starting to pour out. It really is. It's pouring out. And, you know, that's why I keep saying they have to do their detective work because they've got to try and piece this together because it's not making any sense. And as I talk about, or I did yesterday, about the elites change the narrative all the time, why are they changing the narrative? What's this? What's that meeting? What's going on in Davos? What's this? People are going, what is happening? What is happening? And, you know, especially here in Australia, like I said, we went to the vote and suddenly it's all go, 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 go. We're hearing about Solomon Islands. We're hearing about China. Gosh, I don't know what's happening in your countries, but all we've had here is China in our face. Oh, they're trying to apparently send an olive branch to Australia to reconnect. And, oh, isn't that nice of them? So, you know, no surprises for us that they're sending olive branches everywhere and trying to reconnect with all the countries, is it? So they can take over the world. That's what I'm definitely getting today, is it's coming too fast at people now. And it's like I said the other day, we planted a lot of seeds. We were the ones that planted seeds. You know, they thought they could squash us, but we're the ones that planted the seeds, and now those seeds have grown. And we're seeing what's happening as a result of that. Because when you spread information and you get it out there, it can't be taken back. It's already out there. The truths start to already come out. And this is what happens. It starts to all unfold. And these people will get triggered. So something will pop up on their feed or pop up in their face, or someone will talk about it. And it'll go back to that time that you planted that seed to them, and they go, someone was talking about that World Economic Forum, and that was a very strange thing, wasn't it? And then that's when their curiosity sparks. So this is what we want. We wanted them to have to start to, you know, open their eyes and see things, which they are now. Their glasses are gone, the veils have lifted, the information's like coming at them like a tsunami. It really is. It really is. And anything to do with China, I think people's ears like really prick up. Like I said with the Dr. Spock image the other day with the pointy ears, you mentioned China, and people all know what happened in Shanghai, don't they? It's probably still happening. That causes people to really listen and to really see things. So that's why I'm getting that tsunami image. So, you know, maybe just jump behind the fence for a little bit in the next, I'd say, month. A lot's gonna start rolling out in this next month. I'll just see what else we get today. Now of course, I'm getting the image of rugs being put down. So you think of these beautiful like Persian rugs or some sort of huge rug, you know, it might be 3 meters by 3 meters, but it's like these huge rugs are being put down over these. They're showing me like beautiful wooden floorboards, but the floorboards are like scratched and ruined. So again, this comes back to the fact that government has ruined people's lives, and now they're trying to cover it up. They're trying to put well, we know that. I know you guys watching my videos know they're covering everything up. They're very good at doing it. Well, look at the blood clots, and the COVID V is causing that apparently. So now they're putting the big rugs down because they feel like if they can just cover up the mess, no one will see it, and no one's going to go looking for it, and no one's going to want to pick the rug up and have a look underneath. We'll just keep covering it up. And if we put enough of these rugs down, no one's going to go searching and looking for the lies and the deceit and the deception and everything they've been fed. So I'm definitely getting that. But it's almost saying to me, like, you know how you put a big mat down sometimes, but you have to put the non-slip rubber underneath. So there's like this other mat you put underneath, and it's a special non-slip mat. Well, this is what they're showing, is they haven't put the non-slip rubber underneath these big rugs to cover everything up. So at any time, things can still be exposed, because what happens is someone will walk into the room, for example, step on the rug, and the rug will slip out from under them, and it will expose the scratches and all the mess on the floor. So this is just an analogy. But this is about the exposing of the truths. They can't hide this forever, because it will come out. It will come out. And that's what the guides are showing me about the rugs. And when you don't have the non-slip mat underneath, you step on a rug, it pretty much will take off with you and expose these things. So that's what the guides are giving me today, this rug analogy of they're trying to cover up the big mess, obviously with more lies, which, oh God, there could be layers of rugs. But this is what I'm definitely getting. Don't worry. They're saying to you guys out there and to me, like, don't worry. Things will be exposed. It is going to happen. It's inevitable that things are coming out. The truths are no longer hidden. And people are going to start voicing that. I think we're going to start to see a lot of people standing up and voicing that again. We've done our standing up. I talked about that the other day as well, that we've done our hard yards. You know, we took that sword and we went forth, and we've been on our quest for quite a while. But now these other people that are waking are now starting to start their quest of finding out the information, wanting to get their lives back, fighting for their freedom. This is now their journey. We've done the hard yards, and it's saying like we can virtually go behind the fence, sit on our little park bench or whatever we've got there, our little outdoor setting, and put the sword down for a while and maybe have a nice coffee if we need to, or a nice cold beer or an ale or a nice glass of wine, and we can sit there and detach from all this now, because the drama is going to unfold and it's going to be very big, because it can't be hidden. You know, you can only hide and suppress these things for so long until there becomes outrage. And you think of the amount of people's lives that they have destroyed through small business closures, people going under financially, and we know that's going to continue because of the cost of living and the price of fuel and everything that's going on. It's just a big, giant, hypocritical disaster, basically. So I'm definitely getting that there's going to be a lot of outrage and anger building, which we knew would happen with the soul breakdowns anyway, that their pain bodies would rise up, but I think they're really going to start rising up now. So really go back to your calm place and look after yourself, because that's not our nonsense anymore. That's for these other people to have realised this is their awakening process. I'll just see what else the guides say today. Now they're showing me, which is interesting, they're showing me a ladybird. Now, I want you to look out for ladybirds today, because that's going to be the symbol I think that we're being given today, synchronistically. We talked about synchronicity yesterday. But that when I think of the ladybird, you think of that freedom. And I actually have an adopted child, and the symbol for adopted children is the ladybird. Now, it's very symbolic. A lot of people give my daughter things with ladybirds on them. She's got necklaces and she's had umbrellas and all sorts of things, because it's that symbol of kind of hope and freedom as well, because it's like being able to start that new life. If you think about it, it is about one chapter's kind of finishing and then you start a new chapter. So I think the fact that that's come up today, the visual of the ladybird, to me really represents that starting of the new. But that's the message for us. We're starting the new now, and I'll get that name to you in the next day or two, because we are starting our new journey. We're not going to go back to the past. We've already chosen that path. We kind of have this inner strength and fortitude that we're just not going to be taken for that ride anymore. We know what's going on. If anything, we'll just have to keep feeding the information to keep other people waking up and out of their coma, because that's going to be crucial in our journey moving forward as well, because we don't want them slipping into any kind of mass psychosis and trauma and things that fear that can take all these people waking up back again. So it's very important that we do stay on our quest, and that's also what I'm getting today is that we do stay on our path. But that's why we've got the ladybird visual today, because it's that next chapter of your life, which is the next chapter of our lives, and we are sitting back and watching this unfold. So think of that ladybird. If you see any ladybirds, it doesn't matter where you see them, in a book, flying past, on a leaf, it doesn't matter. But it's very symbolic to that next part of your journey. As I said, with adopted children, that's the symbol of adopted children. It represents that next part of that journey for them. So that's how we're going to take that today, is it's our next part of our journey for us. We'll see what else there is. I still feel like there's going to be a lot of discrepancies found out in a lot of these bills and things that have been passed in government and in Parliament. There's discrepancies. There's going to be things that that aren't right. There's going to be mistakes that have been made, which we know that's going to be true. But they're going to get caught out. So these things they've implemented aren't going to pass a lot of laws because it's against the, well, I guess it could be against the sort of constitutions, but it's also like these are legal matters. I've talked a lot about a lot of litigation and legal matters that are kind of currently going on in the background that we're not kind of seeing. But a lot of people are really getting in the legal teams now, and they're having to fight against government, against the laws that have been implemented. I know here in Melbourne there's been a lot of cases that have gone to court during that battleground Melbourne when we had a lot of protests, and that was the most lockdown city in the world, and they were locked down for 2 years. Really, it was about 2 years. And there's a lot of legalities now that are starting to come out, and I'm sure in Canada and other places this is happening too, but I feel like there'll be a lot of issues around little clauses and things that they implemented their power, but they didn't have the power to do that. So a lot of these things are kind of going to get thrown out of court. You know, it might be in Melbourne, for example, there were fines for people who were out and about, like walking their dog or doing anything, and they would be charged with being out after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or it was something, you know, ridiculous things like this that were just totally absurd, and they'd get some crazy amount, like a $20,000 fine or $9,000 fine for this and that. It was just became absurd. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of these legalities now that things are going to be taken back. That's if we don't get the corruption in the courthouse, which sometimes there is, depending who's running it. But I feel like there's a lot of legalities are going to come back to bite a lot of these politicians in the... Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. In the arse is what I wanted to say. I got very tired when I wanted to say the word arse because they're all... I know you guys understand where I'm coming from. It's been very tiring having to deal with these tyrants, basically. But I'm definitely getting that today, that this is going to come back and bite them in the bum because they just implemented things without really having the correct legals on it all. They just implemented whatever they did and thought they could, like I said the other day, steamroll over people. But now people are drawing in the kind of, I guess you could say it's like the legal aid and the legal assistance that they need to help them through these absolutely diabolical situations and stupid fines. And, you know, if you think of the truckers movement, I bet there was a lot over there as well that were absolutely absurd. They would have made things up. I remember over there when that was going on, they were talking about all the guns being seized and found, and then it ended up, I think it got thrown out, didn't it? There was absolutely no proof of that. If anything, they would have planted them, as we all know. But again, you know, and that always happened on the news here too with the protests. They were arresting people left, right and centre. But I've been to protests and some of these people were planted. You could even pick them out of the crowd. It was all like a big giant setup just for the media, and the media camera would be there ready to take the pictures. So this is what I'm getting about the legalities now. I feel like that's all starting to catch up. And also people who are mandated who might have been injured. That's a huge legal thing because they were forced to get it and then their life changed forever. These are the kind of things that are starting to come out now. And these are the kind of, comes back to that tsunami as well, that people are going to start to be hit with this kind of information now that, oh my gosh, maybe we are being lied to and maybe this isn't real. And hello, yeah, where have you been for 2 years? So people are starting to see it, and that's the tsunami that's really coming at people now. They're getting it from all fronts now. They're getting bits of information from here. Not mainstream media, of course. They wouldn't find it there. But people are talking more. People are sharing more. It's getting out there. You have to trust that it's getting out there. I'll see if there's any final messages today. Oh, oh, well, what a surprise. They're saying Big Brother is watching you. We already know that. Gosh, I was even thinking something in my head the other day. And the next day, it came up on the feed on my phone. And I know I never said it out loud because this is like a very private thing. And I thought, maybe they can even work out your profile. This is how clever they are from the other things you type in. Is it like you type a few things in and then it brings together a profile on you and then they know that that's where you're heading? Like, I do wonder sometimes if they can read our minds. And that could be vibration too. You think of radio signals, you know, for us sensitive souls. I know if you're watching my videos, we do live in a lot of those sort of vibrations where we do pick up energy a lot clearer. And I'm wondering if they're nothing sounds far-fetched anymore, does it? If they're picking up our thoughts and our like vibrations, we just don't know. The technology's so advanced now. Gosh, we're tired of this. I understand, you guys. It's so tiring. And that's why maybe that message from the guys today is to just, you know, for a month or two, get behind that fence and have your wine, your coffee, your ale, chill out and put your sword down for a little bit and let this fight and battle be for somebody else. It's definitely saying to have a month off and retreat. It's like we were the first line in the fight, in the battle, and now we retreat and have our rest time. Well, that's the message that the guides are giving you today. Go and retreat and have your rest time and let someone else have their turn in battle now. All right, I'm going to leave you with that today. And look, I'll say goodbye from Australia. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't hit the like buttons. I love that. It helps me heaps. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.